Dear learners, Mr. Marcel Owo, your English language trainer, is very happy to meet you again. Today's lesson is about the use of ing, that is also called the gerund form. By this lesson, you will know that after the first verb in a sentence, the second one is not every time in infinitive form. It may be the gerund form, most of the time called ing form. To well understand this lesson, you will divide it into two parts. First of all, you will see the formation of ing. It means how ing is formed. And secondly, you will talk about its use. Capital 1, formation of ing. Capital 1, formation of ing. We use the verb without to plus ing at the end of the verb. Let's see it with some example. To eat, eat, plus ing, we have eating. To go, going. To buy, buying. And the last example concerning the formation of the tenses, to put, putting. Capital 2 now, you will talk about the use of ing. It means when do we use ing? First of all, ing is used after some prepositions. We have so many prepositions in English language. Secondly, ing is used after some verbs. We have so many verbs in English language, but you can't use ing with all of them. We have some verbs. After them, we use the ing form. Example, we have the verb to love, to avoid, to see, to hear, to recall, to remind, to mind, to remember, to begin, to start, to keep on, to go on, to continue, to skills for, to be fond of, okay, so and so. Example, James succeeded in jumping the wall. James succeeded in jumping the wall. James succeeded in jumping the wall. Another example, I like watching football matches. I like watching football matches. Number 3, ing is used after some expressions. We also have many expressions in English language, but you can't use ing with all the expressions. I will give you some expression with which you can use the ing. We have, for instance, I can't resist, I can't help, to have pleasure of, to have difficulty in, it is no good. For example, it is no good stealing your friend's properties. It is no good stealing your friend's properties. Another example, Peter has difficulties in speaking Spanish. Peter has difficulty in speaking Spanish. And the last part concerning that lesson, we have to keep in your mind that ing is not every time a verb. It may be considered as a noun. But when ing is considered as a noun, ing is considered as a noun when it is preceded by an article. Do you understand? When it is preceded, when ing is preceded by an article, most of the time it's not a verb. It is a noun. Let's see it with some example. Industry is the turning of raw material into finished goods. Industry is the turning of raw materials into finished goods. Another example concerning that part, reading is something interesting. Reading is something interesting. Reading is something interesting. Dear learners, I hope that if you study that lesson, you will no more make mistake if you want to express yourself in English language. See you next time for another lesson. But don't hesitate to meet us if you are into trouble. See you next time for another lesson. Bye.